Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, where I am your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And listen, we are in the month of April. And for those of you who do not know, we're going to celebrate Stress Awareness Month. So here at Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, let me tell you, I'm going to have all clinical therapist people on who are going to help us and allow us to know about our strategies, how to strategize when we're feeling stressed. Listen, everybody gets stressed every now and then. Then that's the truth. To say you don't, you're lying. I'm just going to put it out there. You don't. You're telling a lie. Sorry, I just had to let you know. There are certain demographics, certain things that we can do, even internalize stress, and it can do a lot on our bodies. So tonight, I would like to welcome my guest here, Omeakia Jackson, sister friend, Lovin. She is the CEO of the Harvest and Hope Youth and Family Wellness, located in Dorchester County. Woo, woo!
That's that good old Dorchester.
Good old Dorchester. And let me say, she's an advocate for the youth, but also she works well with all types of organizations. And you're going to have to look her up after this day. And I will tell you, you and your family can benefit from her services that she has. I've actually did some work with her as well in the community, trying to bring it out awareness about the mental health in our community, because we know that's been such a barrier. So welcome, sis.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
So yeah, so what we're talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about stress, because and I just thought about it. It wasn't until 1992 that they started officially making this advocacy for Stress Awareness Month. So Omeakia, just give the people foresight on what stress, how it can affect us.
Mm-hmm.
Is stress good or bad?
Mm-hmm.
Those type of areas. And then as a family unit, we know there's certain things that you can do as a family, but also individually, things that you can do for your kids as well on for stress.
Yeah. So stress is a silent killer. So let me say that first and foremost. It really is. A lot of times people do not realize that they're stressed because they're so used to carrying it all or doing it all or not being bothered. But it is because it's attaching itself to your body. And so you get the headaches, you get the high blood pressure, um, arthritis, irritable bowel syndrome. Some people have sexual dysfunction. You have sleep issues. You're either eating too much or not enough. So it literally shows up in all areas of your life. It can also impact your cognitive functioning, right? And so you can't remember things, or your brain feels foggy and things like that. And that's usually stress related stuff. And being honest about what is causing you stress. It could be work. It could be the family. Let me say that again. It could be work. It could be the family. It could be your friends calling you with their stuff, and wanting you to hold their stuff, or you're showing up for everybody but yourself. That is stressful. The other part of it is not just bad, it's certain things, is good stress, right? So we call that eustress. And that is getting married, graduating from school, getting a job promotion, buying a house. All those things are very positive. However, it is stressful and it affects your body the same exact way that the negative stress does. And so, stress is stress, good, bad, or indifferent. It impacts your mental health and your physical health the exact same way. People have anxiety due to stress. They end up with depression because of stress. And so, stress really has a hold on society that we don't talk about. Children get stressed just as well as adults. Uh, Having these ridiculous, crazy schedules, like running from activity to activity, having to have perfect attendance, having to be a straight A student. And why do you have that B? Why do you have that C? Because I do, right? Like, I am tired, I'm exhausted, and I don't want to put that kind of effort into it. That is stressful. Um, how things are handled at school is stressful, not just because they may have issues with their peers, but children also have issues with the staff at the school. Uh, please don't have the mindset that the adults is always right. I go into the schools, I've worked in the school systems, and you do have teachers, administrators, and support staff that do not make school a fun environment, right? And when your children are coming home talking about that kind of stuff, you have to be willing to hear them and take it from a child's perspective. There could be some misunderstanding because of their ability to process information, or they could be dead on. Um, Talk to your children and find out. Um, Children are committing suicide at a higher rate. Anxiety in girls are off the charts. All of that is kind of stress related stuff. And so we have to be mindful of that stuff. We need to be aware of it, right? And not brush it off or say, what do you have to be stressed about? What are you depressed about? What are you anxious about? Life, right? And just because we handle things differently don't mean other people can, especially children.
You so spot on. It was something that you just said that triggered me back to, you know, as the strong woman,
Mhm.
as us being, you gotta, we always told we gotta be the strong woman, but
Yes.
we have a lot of moms out here that's holding it down, and for different situations it may be loss of the spouse, or may not be just the person in the home, but for always to say you got to be that strong woman. um what
Yeah.
is yeah so what but no, it's
No.
not always being strong, because that's putting more weight on yourself. And from experience, and maybe this is to help someone, and I know whoever may catch this
Mhm.
replay, I've been in that situation as being the strong woman. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
It's that stigma
Yes.
that they put out, that we have to be this strong person, but that's adding more stress to the problem. Hey, I'm struggling here. I have no one. And one thing I like about your program is that you have mentorship. You base it
Yeah.
upon mentorship, and that is a plus. And I love the fact that we can't always be strong, ladies.
Mm-mm.
We don't have an outlet, because there's not enough time today. One, you have to work.
That's it.
Two, you got to come home, fix the house. It's about to sell. So in the realm of that, we also going to talk about a regimen of self care.
Mhm.
Self care. What are
Yeah.
you doing what are you doing for yourself in the self-care? If it's just 5 to 10 minutes a day,
Yeah.
we can't be that strong person, because you know what? Eventually, those areas that you said, you know, it's stress is
Yeah.
a silent killer.
That's
You
it.
wonder why you got these aches and pains.
Mm-hmm.
It might be stress. But
That's
you
it.
know, one thing I also learned in the portion of about this stress is just not fit. It can be physical,
Mm-hmm.
mental,
Yep.
environmental. Now,
Yes.
not to say
Yes.
I can say, oh, I got some comments here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I have Letitia. This about Belmont, she says so true. Roxanne, she says, or having to hear when being strong is your only option.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh,
Now
yeah,
that's the dangerous one right there.
that's one right there. Yeah.
They're the most
And
dangerous
then
ones.
Stephanie Faulkner says burn out. Yeah, I mean it's you will eventually burn down. And the thing about it is, to speaking to that mom who always
Mhm.
said, I'm a strong woman, I don't need this help. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Yes,
Yes, you do.
yes, you do. And stop
Yes, you
doing
do.
it all by yourself. Take that cape off and burn it, right?
Yes.
There's
Yes.
nothing to be proud about of that cape, because that cape is a symbolism of so many things: patriarchy, slavery, and all those things, right? And so we just look at it from the perspective of African American women. Um, Historically, we have been responsible for everybody but ourselves, right? We have been responsible, we have been trained, we have been taught that everybody else matters but you. You don't get the day off, right? If you think about yourself and you choose you, you're selfish.
Mm.
Well, when you're at home sick, who's coming by the house to take care of you, right? So if you're home sick, who can you pick up the phone and call and say, I need boom, boom, boom? Who's going to stop, drop, and roll for you? Right? But how many people have you stopped, dropped, and rolled for? If you're sick, how many of those people you're helping? If you have small kids or teenagers, who's coming to the house to drop off food? Right? Who's running them to practice? Who's doing those things? Nobody, because oh, she got it. She's strong, right? She, girls, you don't need no help. And if you say you need help, people dismiss it, right? You, girl, you don't need no help. I don't even know why you playing like that. That's because two things. One, you've been carrying everything. One, that's one. Two, it's they don't even have the capacity to help you, right? So many times we're sitting up here helping people and doing things for people who don't even have the capacity to reciprocate in any way. Because I get people can't necessarily meet me the same way that I show up for them, but they don't even have the capacity to show up at all unless it's to receive something from you. That is stressful. You end up resenting people, right? Then I ain't even gonna answer this phone. I don't even know what they calling for. Blah blah blah. Right. So that's the space that we go into. And so it's like, no, look at your circle. Like look at your family and friends, because you should not have to be strong. I'm like, this is a flow and ease year for myself. And I do a lot of stuff, but honey, it's all about flow and ease. If I am I sweating? Oh, I'm sweating. I don't want to do this no more. If I find myself feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, I give myself permission to say, oh, I'm not going to do that. And I'm okay with that. And so we have to be okay with saying no, right? And one of the things I tell children and parents all the time, when you say no to other people, you're actually saying yes to yourself, right?
Wow. Wow.
When you
I,
say no to other
ooh,
people, you're
ooh.
saying yes to you. And you
Oh,
have to get into the habit of saying yes to yourself.
wow. I hope y'all take that punchline. Because look, we got a giveaway tonight. Actually, tonight, since it is Stress Awareness Month, I'm gonna give away my book, which this happened during the pandemic. Because it was talking about how people were stressed.
Mhm.
Um, it was due for that.
Yeah.
Um, People were stressed because, again, being not as sociable, not sociable, and isolated, those type of things. So that all came in a weekend of shutting down. So listen at some of these bullet points, because that will be the key how to get this book. I'm just gonna say that is gonna be the key to get the book. So pay attention. Go share, share this out with someone that, hey, might need this, because again, it's a stressful world out here. Environmental stress. Right now, when we look at everything in the world, you turn on the TV, there is environmental stress. Just listening to you know, it's ridiculous right now that some of the stuff that we see here in our society. Aggression driving down the road. I don't know, the day it was a nice and wonderful day, just people driving crazy everywhere today. So I'm like, what is going on? What is happening here? Like, is it the weather? But there was something that I also posted the other day. If the moon moves the water, what's moving you?
That's it.
If the moon moves water and we're 80% water,
that's it.
What is moving you? And that means in your emotions, all of that. I'm just saying, we're here to tell the truth. Shame it out, put it out there, but this is here to beneficial to help you. Because let me tell you something, not too many people gonna come on your couch without that, because they ain't gonna want to pay this. So this month I have regulated an hour that you can watch this for free and don't be charged. I'm just saying, from clinicians who are clinical, can do some diagnosis. Not that she's gonna give any out today. We're gonna give you some resources on where to go and how to do it. Actually, in the 25th, there is gonna be a forum that myself and Omeakia will be on. We're actually gonna go back talking about trauma, because again, some traumas can also be things that can keep us down with stress and different things as that. So I'm just saying, you're getting some good information here tonight, and we just here to give the information out. So and one thing, people are listening. So Roxanne says we tend to feel guilty when putting ourselves first. So that's what you say. When you say no to others, you're saying yes to self. Remember that. Remember that tonight, if you don't get anything else out of that. And I also tell people, when I talk about this stress, I'm going to give you some 3 languages of the word no. English, we have no. French, we have non. And in German, yet.
Yeah,
so there it is.
Nada. Nada.
English is no.
Right.
French is non. And in German, yet. So there we go. You got 3 ways you can say it. No, non, yet. So I'm teaching you something today. I'm teaching you some things. Hey, it's no is in my vocabulary.
Big time. And it has to be. And I think the other thing, when you talked about trauma, and what we don't talk about is race-based stress, right? I've done research, and my dissertation is actually on race-based traumatic stress. And so what we tend to, what has not been given credit in a limelight, is the amount of stress that people of color, especially Black people, honestly, experience based on race, right? And so research have shown, like multiple research has shown, on average, Black people experience racism in some form or fashion at least 3 to 4 times a day, right? It is microaggressions, it's macroaggressions, it's the different comments, it's how you're being treated and looked at when you go into the store, it's being denied a raise, it's given, like you want a loan for a house or a car, and they either giving you a ridiculous interest rate, or they're trying to steer you into a neighborhood that you really don't want to be in, right? And so with that, the symptoms are worse than post-traumatic stress disorder. Now,
Mm.
the APA has did all this apologizing, right? However, they have yet to put race-based traumatic stress or race-based stress in the DSM-5. And so for those who don't know, DSM-5, now it's DSM-5-TR, that's the book that we use to help identify a mental health disorder. And so research has shown that race-based traumatic stress is worse than post-traumatic stress. That is something to be considered, right? And so there are the somatic health issues. This is why Black people have high blood pressure more than anybody else. This is why our mortality rate is worse than anybody else's. This is why our cancer rate is worse than anybody else, right? Our alcoholism and all these things, because our body is being impacted, and then we're self-medicating, right? And so it's the smoking, it's the drinking, it's the shopping, it's the other recreational drugs, right? And people don't even realize how the racism is impacting them outside of being angry, right? So I'm angry, but I don't even realize the impact that it's really having on me psychologically.
Wow. And that goes back to, again, physical. That
Mhm.
goes back to physical stress, those different things. So, you know, you hitting it right. And I can't wait till this dissertation done, Dr. Jackson. I'm already know it's going to be done and completed, Dr. Jackson. I cannot wait to celebrate you with that. We have some more comments coming in. So Letitia says that cape will turn into a noose. And you did. You did a good analogy of that based upon that cape being wrapped around you as a slavery thing, because we have to be strong. Yeah, when you said that about going back, I often think about the movie with all the housemaids. I can't think of the movie right
I
now.
know what you're talking about. Oh gosh, because I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you think about it. They took care of the children and they were less than,
Yeah.
they were the strong one, but yet they were strong, holding the family together.
Mhm.
With that all, but it's stress. I am so glad that that awareness, not just for April, but we need to continually do this. Um, and we're going to talk about some practices, but we're going to take a quick break. I ask you to go, you need to go grab your tea, because we have some more information on how to manage these stress and effectively. That's the thing, is how effective. And then when you don't feel like it's overwhelming, that's when you come see people like Omeakia or myself.
That's it. That's it.
That's just
Right.
it. So we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna be right back. So, welcome back to the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul, where I'm your host, Michelle Bolden Hammond. And that little commercial that you just saw there is something that Mama's Healing Sound for You have just officially broke out on the 23rd of March. So, that is a service where, hey, I'm going to tell you now, it'll be beneficial for you. Vibroacoustic sounds, mobile. I can come to you
Mhm.
and set you up for an hour, 30 minutes, using either sound baths, or you can have a seat on a meditation cushion chair.
Mhm.
That, if you want to know more about it, hit me up. It is like the question I had asked earlier. If the moon moves water, what's moving you?
Moving you.
We are 80% water, and sounds, frequencies, those type of things regenerate your cells to move, to boost your mood levels,
Hmm.
change your thinking patterns, frequencies, natural sounds. Those are the type of things that, in a holistic way. Um, and not to say if you need to take medicine, I'm not against the medicine, because hey, if you need it, you need it. So we're
Yeah.
just saying, if you need it, you need it. But those are the those are the things
Yeah.
that, that some people, so this is one way to help. Not to say that it'll cure, but hey, it's a way to help with using meditation practices, uh, different things is that. So yes, Mama's Healing Sound for You is available, a service that's available for you. I'm there to do workshops, teach about it, because I go around stress. Matter of fact, the 29th of April, I will be at the Minority Dreams who's partnering with the University of Maryland Shore Medical Center on mind, body, and soul, dealing with the African American. And I will be one of the presenters for that on the 29th. So it's great things is happening
Right.
all around, all around. And I am just, oh, look. And Stephanie said, good vibrations. Yes, good vibrations. Roxanne says, powerful information you're sharing. Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you so much. So basically, Omeakia, let's get down and dirty with it, talking about mastering these stress emotions. So, one of the things is, when we tell someone to observe the impact of the emotions, give a little brief on that. How would one observe the impact of their emotions?
Well, first they have to even acknowledge that they have emotions, right? We live in a society where having emotions have just been so pathologized. For boys, it's stop being a punk and all that. And then for girls, it's you're attention seeking and you're being a crybaby, right? And so now we have a society full of people who don't even know how they feel, right?
Mm,
So what they're feeling is a bunch of discomfort that shows up as anger and irritation. And so they don't know what being sad really feels like, or they might know that. So I say most people have five emotions, right? That's mad, sad, happy, shocked, and bored, right? That's it. But as you know, there's probably 75 to 200 different words to describe the level of happiness or love and things like that. And so when I don't have the literature or the knowledge of what that is, I can't even point that out,
right.
right? And so the most important thing is going to be first is let's normalize emotions. Let's normalize having feelings, right? Talk about those things, look them up. If you're realizing when you're expressing how you feel and you can only name 5 to 10 emotions, that means you're emotionally illiterate, right? You need to start looking at the different emotions. There are wonderful charts that you can get online, that you can use to start teaching yourself and your children what emotions are. Um, a challenge I like to give people is identify 1 to 2 emotions a day and start using that in your vocabulary and checking in with yourself, or do an emotions chart like I give to the kiddos. So now we can identify how you're feeling throughout the day. So an emotions chart would be one of the best ways to do that, because then they can look up what that emotion means and put that on their chart. So when they're feeling some kind of way, then I get to acknowledge what that is, as opposed to going straight to being angry or straight to being irritated, right? Or feeling attacked. We go with the anger and the frustration because those are the most comfortable emotions. We don't like to touch on the vulnerable emotions,
Mhm. Mhm.
jealous, sad, embarrassed, and things like that. So we're not going to do that, right? No, those are real, right? They are real. We can control our emotions, right? Once they pop up, let's acknowledge them. And then how do we control them instead of having our emotions control us? So the first step is learning about emotions, right? And making that a normal part of your lifestyle now. Once you get to hang of noticing what your emotions are, start to pay attention to how you feel and behave, right? So when I say feel, where is that emotion showing up in your body?
Ooh.
Emotions, it shows up. It might be a little itch, a tickle in the throat. You might sneeze. You would be shocked on how the emotions literally show up in our body. You get butterflies in your stomach. You get heart palpitations. You get a frog in your throat. Your ears start to itch or your scalp start to itch. And you're like, oh God, what is going on? Some people break out in hives, right? Just because they're so used to not feeling. And so I'm breaking out in hives because my emotions are trying to escape, right? And so once you start paying attention to how it's showing up in your body and then how you're reacting to it, right? Because you can respond to them or you're going to react. React, usually we either shutting down or getting loud, right? We cutting people off or we trying to cut people up, right? And so how do you
True.
react to your emotions? We want you to respond to them, right? And that's acknowledging I'm feeling something. And I don't know what that is, but I'm feeling something. So let me talk to myself about what that is. Why am I feeling some kind of way? Right? Why am I feeling some kind of way? Did what they say hurt my feelings? Why? Right? Did they mean it? Or was I already in a space and they said something and I got set off? They didn't set me off. I got set off because we love to blame other people for our feelings, honey. They yours. You did that. Ain't nobody else make you feel that way. You did that to yourself. And that's and then paying attention to when somebody else is having an emotional experience. How are you feeling about that? Because a lot of people get irritated and mad when somebody else is feeling some kind of way because they don't know how to deal with their own emotions, right?
Wow.
Because your emotions become more valid than mine. So I walk in the house and you feeling some kind of way, Michelle. So I'm in the house. Hey, sis, what's going on? Now you feeling some kind of way. And I'm mad. What is wrong with you? Why are you mad? As opposed to saying, oh, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? What happened? What's going on? I immediately go on the defense. And now I'm attacking you because you're not feeling whatever, right? Because you're in an emotional space. But because I don't know how to deal with your emotions, I'm attacking you.
Right. Right.
Spouses do it to each other, parents do it to each other, and parents do it to their children, right? And then the children go to the schools and explode.
Wow. I'll tell you, like we Stephanie said, she's dropping some gems. Most definitely. I'm telling you, and you just went right on to the second one about regulating the emotions.
Mhm.
And you and the next one is get clear on what you're feeling. Like you said, some people don't even understand what they're feeling.
That's it.
They don't really understand what they're feeling. So, and then accept it. Now, accept that you may be wrong.
And that's okay.
Is
Right.
accept that you may just might be
You
wrong.
might be wrong. That's it. And what did you tell yourself about it? Because it's the narratives that we're telling ourselves 9 times out of 10 that gives us an emotional reaction anyway. And I always say, if somebody slap you, honey, that's a slap. You're going to feel what you feel, not just physically, but emotionally too, right?
Mhm.
But if nobody has uh, physically hit you, and some people will say, "Oh, but you still do get to control how you feel about that slap," right? Most people are gonna not be like, "Oh, turn the other cheek." That's not most people, but some people will, depending on what kind of space that they're in. It doesn't mean that they're weak or anything like that. They may just have a different way of handling their emotions. for the most part, most of us don't have that, right? We are matching energy, right? Or I done told myself time and time again about you and anything and anybody else of a similar situation. And so I'm going through my negative Rolodex and I'm going to pull that card out. And that's how I'm going to show up, right? As opposed to, huh, well, I don't like that. And then asking myself, why don't I like that? No, I want to fight, I want to cuss, and I want to fuss, right? Or I become the victim, and it's all your fault, and it's my emotions. So I'm going to take responsibility of how I feel. I'm going to address what you did, but there's still my emotions.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, when we talking about this, we talk about the stress journal
Mhm.
and creating a mood tracker.
Yes.
Um, there, a lot of people don't realize, and I, whatever lucky winner get this, there is a
Y'all
14
better get it.
day.
You better be taking notes.
You better be taking notes because I'm actually gonna let Dr. Jackson put the question out there just to see who was listening.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you put the question on out of there. So there is a way to actually enforce what may be the issue with the stress
Mhm.
and what are you doing. So it's the what, the where, the when, and what were you feeling, the how, what you were feeling. So what happens is within that you would document where you was at, what you was doing, what transpired it, and how you felt. Then the next step you would do when this happens occurs, you would take a daily, as you were saying,
Mhm.
take a daily, thing. And you can go back, you do that for 14 days straight, read over it. You can actually pinpoint either it's a person, place, or thing,
So,
the time frame, all of that. You can actually pinpoint what is the cause and what is the initial stressor that
that's
you have. So that's just something you can do right now. Go to Dollar Tree, get yourself a little journal.
it.
10 do it for 14 days, 2 week stress. You know what you feeling, how you was feeling, document how, what, where,
Mhm.
why, time, and do. Because is this something during the day that I need to change around to make it more useful for me? Is it something that I'm doing in the area of the day that's not working right with me? Do I maybe I need to do this more at nighttime, that where it's more quiet and
Mm.
things like that. So that's a way that you can navigate, with creating this mood tracker, a
Mhm.
little personal 14-day journal that you can take along with yourself. The next one, a lot of people don't realize either. Just pause.
Mm.
Just close your eyes, throw your hands up, throw your head back, pause and breathe. Breathing, breath work
Mhm.
changes the stress level.
Yes. Yes.
I'm,
Yeah.
we're just giving you some nuggets. Now, as she said, like she gave the example about coming in the house. Somebody asked you, well, how was your day? This, that, this, and that, this, and that.
Yeah.
Well, express your emotion effectively.
Right.
Just say, today was not such a good day. I just needed to breathe, stay to myself for a while, and then maybe I can come back and talk about it. You don't stress me out by telling me all that in that little realm like that. So those little things we need to be cognizant of and just know it's how you express your emotion. And then again, if it's too much for you to handle, if it's too much to get heated in that, leave some space. Take it and go.
That's it. Yeah.
Take it and go. Relax it. Go go to your space.
Mhm.
As I say, door dash it. Pick it up and go.
That's it. Yes.
Pick it up and go. And I've already told you that's meditation and mindfulness are different practices that you can do to help with your stress level. If you don't know how to do it, I can show you how to do it. Matter of fact, in May, um, April the 27th, Stephanie's on here at
Mhm.
Good Vibrations Spa in Cambridge. we're actually going to be doing a sound bath healing. It's on Eventbrite. I will be mentioning it up again. Hey, it's just a $10 class, and you're going to come out with some mindful tips on how to be mindful and practice. And you even going to get to practice on give you some tools on you can maybe use for your own stress management and stuff, regimens. So yeah, these are some things. And I do this because our people lack the knowledge of this.
That's it. And we've been taught that it's voodoo, witchcraft, and all of this other stuff, and it's not.
Oh,
It's not, right? It is
oh,
not that, right?
oh
It is
gosh.
not that. It is healing, and honestly, all of it originated in Africa. No matter what people think, it's not paganism. It's none of that. This is allowing the hands to heal, allowing sound to heal, allowing nature to heal. The body has a way of healing itself. Touch is healing. So be it Reiki, be it a massage, be it acupuncture or acupressure, that's healing. Meditation, healing. Learning how to effectively breathe is healing, because most of us are breathing wrong anyway.
Right.
Most of us do not know how to breathe right.
Exactly.
And so because we're breathing wrong, we're tearing our lungs stuff up.
And it's supposed to come down deep down in your belly. It comes deep down in your belly. And we've also been taught that you just, even when you go to the doctor, how you think he make you go up and out. That's the right way to breathe. We don't do that. It comes from the belly out slowly. A lot of people just say, you let it release. No, slowly. That's one way of doing that effectively. Yeah, breath work. I'm telling you, that's awesome as well. And Omeakia, you had my message from last week's show with Marka. I went way over the topic that's one of my that is one of my things. Why do we special and you know what I know who I am. Right. God gives me many gifts. I give him credit for all the gifts. Everything he made is good.
Amen.
And I just want people to be open to other things. And that's just like I had told last week. And I had someone else watch it today, and we just spoke about that. We have to start having an open mind set. Yeah. You can be so spiritual that you know earthly good in the realm. We know this is of the world, but we still also have to operate spiritually in this world. Yeah. But I just want us to do better. And especially people been doing yoga and stuff for years. And I mean, other people, and it's nothing wrong with it.
And they don't have the health issues. They don't have the health issues we have.
No. Right? And they doing it. They pay for it. They pay for it. That's why I'm trying to branch this with our community, because I even brought this up to a lot of people don't even know. I'm telling you, if you don't visit that African American, and it really gave me the thing about it. When you talk about the different areas, especially, we always was taught that the Black Panthers was so bad, but they actually was master skill acupuncturists who went and learned the skill and were helping people in the community. And that's when they started vibing about the sickle cell and all that type of stuff. They the ones who actually found out about the sickle cell and was helping our people, because it was devastating people of color. And we had no idea. And they was learning acupuncture over in Asian countries, coming back here, bringing it. And that again is a way.
That's it.
We just got to do better. Open yourself up to. I tell people, do your research.
You have to do your research, and you have to be open to healing. Prayer without work is dead, right? And I tell people that all the time. So you can do all the praying you want, but if you're not getting the work done to your mind, body, and soul, it's not. You're not doing anything, right? You want a magic fairy to come down and just heal you. What are you doing to get healed? You have to go to other people, right? This is what people are trained for. This is what people are trained for. This is not cult work. It is none of that. This is the way of healing. And if what you're doing is not working, then you have to be okay with doing something different. This is not saying don't study your Bible. This is not saying don't pray, because you should. You should do all those things. But you also should be looking at, how do I heal? Right? That should become a daily practice for you. It could be taking a walk, right? It could be doing Zumba, because you're letting go a lot of stress through the movement and things like that. But you also should clean your house, because when you're talking about environmental stress, right? So it shows up in how clean your house is or how disorganized. Because just because somebody's house is clean don't mean they're not stressed. They're cleaning because they're stressed, right? Mm-hmm. Everything has to look neat and tidy, right? Mm-hmm. But don't mean that everything is okay with them.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. And so you have to look at those things in terms of how to do things as a family. The family can meditate together. The family can do yoga together, right? The family can exercise together. They can do some time management, put a schedule up on the chores, on, who has to go where, right? What is bedtime? I'm all for family timeouts, meaning everybody take a time out and be quiet, right? You can meditate, you can read, put the devices down, just stop and go chill out, right? Parents need a calm down corner, just like the kids need a calm down corner. Create calm down corners that have the coloring books and some music and some paint and sensory type items that adults and children can utilize, right? Because we're quick to tell a child, you need a timeout, you need to calm down. My kids had the authority to put mama in timeout, right? Because mama wasn't always showing up right. And so, but they were told, okay, now if you do it this way, it's not going to go well. If you do it this way, I will hear you, right? So say it where I'm going to hear you, and I'm not going to feel like you're trying to be rude or disrespectful. Mama needs time out, and giving your children the authority to say, mom, dad, grandmom, whoever, you seem a little, edgy, or whatever terms you need them to say, because you know what your trigger words are. I think it's okay for you to go ahead and you feel like you need a timeout or go in a calm down corner. Like, be okay with them recognizing when you're stressed, right? And don't take offense to that, because it's important, because those are social cues that they need. They're going to school and they're going to work, right? They need to be able to understand social cues of when somebody is stressed out and how to deal with it, as opposed to seeing somebody stressed out, being berated or disrespected or whatever. And so either they're going to do this, they're going to take that same energy into the workplace, into school, or they're going to be abused, because they're going to pick up that pattern of thinking, when people are stressed out, this is how they get to treat me. And that's never okay.
Exactly. So we're going to take one more break. And as we talked about all about stress, what about the self-care? Mm-hmm. So I've got this song that's called Self-Care, I Care. So I'm going to play the video to this, and I want you to enjoy this as we play this, because it's very important. In Stress Awareness Month, if you don't do one thing for you, do something for yourself.
That's it.
So
take away all the trouble and the pain. Society tried to sacrifice small things. My brain and mind strictly insane. Now is not the time to stress. I found the solution, the self-care test. what you do, I care about you. I care, self-care, I care. I care, self-care, I care. I can take care of myself alone. There's so much of me to love. Leave me with the I care, self-care, love. Leave me with the self-care, I care, love. I care, self-care, I care. I care, self-care, I care. The earth is bound with the self and love and will. You prove how much you care. Living the game of life unaware. Why do we care enough to try? Nobody seemed to care. I cried when left. I found the solution, the self-care test. Who cares where you go? I care about you. Who cares what you do? I care about you. And I care, self-care. I care, self-care, I care. I can take care of myself alone. There's so much of me to love. Leave me with the I care, self-care, love. Leave me with the self-care, I care, love. I care, self-care, I care. 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 I care.
So, if you have not learned anything else, remember the self-care, because I care, self-care. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little video that was from the song from my latest album, Mix the Shift. So, we're trying to get you to shift to learn some more perspective, holistic ways for us to de-stress in this month. So again, we are excited. And Omeakia, I thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your expertise in the mental health portion of it, because stress, we know, is a part of, we got post-traumatic stress syndrome, all of those typical things. So I appreciate you for sharing your knowledge and saying yes, as always. Now, before we do the giveaway, tell the audience where they can find you and anything that's going on with you that you have coming up so we can support you.
Okay, so you can find me, us, at Harvesting Hope Youth and Family Wellness.org. We have a Facebook page, and we also are on Instagram. We are located in Dorchester County, right in Cambridge. So we have a monthly reading social. So we do it the first Saturday of the month in Cambridge, the second Saturday of the month in Hurlock. It is for youth 12 and under, but we don't turn anybody away. And so we're promoting literacy. Dorchester County students are struggling with literacy, typically 2 to 3 years behind. And so we're encouraging literacy through art, healthy eating, and things like that, just to make it fun. So again, first Saturday of the month in Cambridge, second Saturday of the month in Hurlock. We have our 5 years, Michelle, 5th annual Youth Expo coming up May 6th, and it will be back at Maces Lane Middle School. It is free for the community as a whole. We have different workshops. This year, we are incorporating pampering the parents. So just different things that parents can do for self-care and things like that, which I think is going to be phenomenal. We have entertainment, college and career readiness, reading, art, all fun and educational for the community, and it is free.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I've participated a couple times in that. So it is a very good, resourceful day to get out and do something, get some activities in. Amika's doing it, trying to get the family and the parenting skills together for those in Dorchester County, because Lord knows we have a community, and she's out there in the community. I will say not by yourself, but it needs to be a lot more backing you with that. Look. So it is giveaway time. So for those of you who have been listening, I am going to let Miss Omeakia come with the question, and we're going to see who puts it in. Now, if no one catches it, you can come back to the replay, go back and watch this again and catch it on the replay. But one lucky winner will get my book, signed copy of Let's Talk No Stress, which is wonderful for this month, for Stress Awareness Month. Actually, that's my last copy too. Yeah. So I have to order another one. So go ahead and shoot the question. Let's see who was listening.
Yes, ma'am. So when do you say yes to yourself? So I made a comment about saying yes to yourself. So what is it that you do to say yes to yourself? So that's the question.
Oh.
Letitia got it.
When you say no to them, you say yes to yourself.
Roxanne right behind her, literally.
Yep. Letitia. Yeah. Hey, Letitia. So, Omeakia, let me tell you about Letitia. Letitia has, she is a jazz cooking chef. So, matter of fact, we need to work on that. She said, my new mantra. She said, this is her new mantra. She is awesome. Let me tell you, she's awesome. She has a taste of jazz, it's called. And I actually had her. She did some comedy. She does comedy, and she also plays the saxophone. And she has a real, you got to check her out. A taste of jazz. I gave you that plug. Yeah, I gave it a plug. But I actually gave. We just haven't got our time and haven't got together. But we're actually going to work on. I'm doing this music portion and with the jazz, and that is relaxing.
Yeah.
Jazz is relaxing, very relaxing.
It really is. I listen to it when I'm studying.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, again, audience, we want to thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Now, next week, again, as I said, I have all this month therapeutic people who are clinical, that are licensed professionals who are going to be coming up with us. Next week, I will have my special guest, Dr. Valika Moore. She will be coming to us with her mental detox and her Brilliant One wellness next week. And the following week of that, I have, which is out of the box, I have it personal with someone who is a mother. When we talked about it earlier, the strong woman, she's backing her husband, who is comedian DJ Pryor. She is going to be coming on talking about how she's handling all this and with helping him with his career, doing her career, and just coming out for us. So she's going to be with us the following week. And the last on, I'm going to bring my Transcend Wellness friend back on again. So I'm excited about what's going to be going on. And again, for those of you who, we always say, hey, if you don't feel that you love, know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, because we know we love you. So again, if no one has told you that you love, just know that you are loved here at the Upfront Mind, Body, Soul. Until next week, see you all.
See you later.